Do you make do a countdown, Mike? SHINDIG. I'm probably wrong. All right, everybody. Well,
Just start with a good old fashioned paranoia.
down. Who named? So I'll do a countdown. You ready, Mike?
I was about to say, I think he's already recording.
Is up, everybody? How's it going? Been a minute. Hope everybody's doing all right. We're going to do a little recap here for Strixhaven, the Curriculum of Chaos. I keep forgetting to add that part to the recap.
Look at you trying to be all official.
Was it called the Curriculum of Chaos before or after we started? Like you found out what our characters were.
It was after I really I was trying to come up with a name, and I ended up landing on Curriculum of Chaos. Curriculum of Chaos.
Curriculum.
Understandable.
So where we last left off was a very interesting time. We saw the group finish their first day of culinary class with Master Guillaume, and they left for the day and started making their way back to their dorms at night. And little did we know, making my way. Little did we know that there was going to be a surprise that would splat onto the window of Phelan and Alasteria's dorm. And that surprise was a year 2 student named Tootie. Tootie was an interesting, curious returning student who overheard Kadim talking to Plarg about a mysterious underground catacomb where this Silver Quill campus is. Curiosity tends to get the best of us, and the group comes to a consensus that maybe we should check it out. Kadim's inner protection kicks in. He understands that evil needs to be addressed, and everybody goes as a group to the Silver Quill campus. Might I add, after the school hours are over, where everybody is kind of tired for the night. So we, after a well-timed knock by our buddy Shannistar, we let ourselves into the school during after hours and make our way to the stadium, the aptly named Rose Stadium. Once y'all get there, you see. Once you get there, you Shannistar sees a familiar face that's a little bit new to everybody. Fane the broker is doing some black market shenanigans.
Some shady shit.
This is the first time that we noticed that a teacher who just should have maybe more regard for himself as a role model is making deals with faculty and students for contraband under the eyes of others. And y'all took advantage of that and made some purchases at his shop of items. And afterwards, he decided to help y'all under secrecy to the catacomb entrance, where he left you all to your own free will. As you all made on your way into the catacomb, you found Tootie found a rod with an owlin on the head of it. Gave that rod to the owlin of the party, Alisteria, to which visions flared, and all of a sudden, an undead owlin arose from the catacombs. All the while, Ezekiel is pickpocketing some gold. Phelan is looking at the owlin as if it's a sight to behold. And then the owlin strikes at Alisteria when he gets close. And then suddenly you see Kadim sinking into some sand. After a help was muttered from Kadim, and Alisteria help
Help me.
help him out. And then the farther part of the catacombs are reached, where we see a very unexpected Lou Ambrose, which is the Dean of Silverquill, former Dean, who was thought to be dead, is very much alive, and turns out he is doing some not so good stuff in the catacombs. He's got his papers and books open to do some type of ritual that may or may not cause some danger to the entire school. And realizing that his work is not done yet, he uses a dimension door on the party, talks to Shannistar to try to recruit him. Shannistar says no. And
Yet.
dimension doors yet. Dimension door Shannistar, and to which before Ezekiel makes his departure, uses his coin to heat metal the book that was in the center of his ritual and burns it to the point where it cannot be read. But before that, he glanced at some pages, and now was dimension doored out as well, to where you all are now in a little pile outside of the entrance to your dorms. And that is where we left off.
Right before Tootie said, y'all weird. I'm out of this bitch.
Fucking shit, I'm out.
So he was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Now, with it being this time of the evening, we will start the day, start the morning. And with this, is there anything that anybody wants to do before the evening? Or maybe better yet, you all see each other now outside of the hall, outside of the dorm, and it's nighttime. And now Ezekiel has flown out of the door. What are you all doing?
Oh, you didn't die. I thought for sure you would die in there. Should
Isn't that
we be worried about everything that happened there? Okay.
yeah,
Consider it forgotten.
it's fine. Hi, my name's Ezekiel.
Do we have to sneak back into our rooms?
Yes, you all were with me. I will take full responsibility.
Okay. Well, good night.
Good
So I
night.
still have this rod thing, right? Like,
You do have it. It is in your inventory.
fuck. Okay, you said it's in my inventory.
Well, I don't know if it's literally in your inventory, but
Oh.
it is with you.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, look at you doing shit.
Damn.
Not how I meant it, but whatever.
Nope, too late.
Right. Okay. I guess I'm gonna fucking hide this shit.
Alrighty.
I don't know.
So, Kadeem escorts Phelan and Alistaria back to their room, and then escorts Shannistar and Ezekiel back to their room. He resumes post, and you all have a long rest, and we then go to the morning time.
All right.
So morning time comes, and everybody, for the most part, has a pretty uneventful rest after that. You start to hear this very faint violin. You start to hear the violin now met with a what feels like a larger orchestra, and it starts to pick up a little bit more and more. And now it sounds like there is this orchestra that is playing outside of y'all's rooms. it is unavoidable. You all wake up.
I'll
What
look
time is it?
over at Ezekiel. Are we under attack?
What'd you say, Kalina?
What time is it?
So it's morning time. It's the time that
Oh.
is scheduled for you all to do the routine of the breakfast and getting ready for class. Okay. So if anybody opens the door, is anybody open their door?
Yeah,
I guess
probably
yeah.
poking our head out.
Yeah. So you all notice that that noise is coming from Kadeem. It is his alarm.
Oh, good morning.
Can I punch him and press the snooze button?
What did you say? I can't hear you over this alarm.
I'll turn the volume down a little bit. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
It's time for class.
Oh, well. Hmm.
Are you ready to go?
No.
Only if you want me to.
Oh.
I'll slowly offer my arm. But you said.
But you said.
No more and then.
Well, this morning we have bacon and pancakes for breakfast.
They making pancakes?
There's bacon and pancakes.
Did they put the bacon in the pancake?
I am
That's
not
how it's
sure.
gonna. That's
You
how
would
it's
have
gonna
to
make.
ask the chef.
Bacon pancake.
In New York.
If you all are ready, I can escort you.
Yeah, let
Sure.
us do that.
Alisteria, you are also supposed to meet Mavinda at Lorehold later, once we have breakfast.
How do you know that?
I was given these instructions.
Hmm. Okay.
All right, follow me, and I guess we'll make our way to the mess hall.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to the library.
Now, it is worth noting that you all this is a choice you have. You do have time after you eat breakfast if you want to do the library before class, or if you want to do class and then the library. There is time for either or to be done first or last. You all can choose whichever one you want to do first.
Well, I'm gonna eat first, and then I'm gonna decide from there.
Yes, if we go eat breakfast, we have time to hit the library before class. You do not wish to eat? If you are caught on your own, it is not going to be on me.
It-
Go ahead to the library if you wish. We are going to go to the mess hall.
Walks
Very
by
well.
as you say, yeah, just last night then, and they're like, huh?
What?
So, Bill and Shannon y'all are getting a head start.
Yes.
We're not we're not going to do like an exhaustion if you don't eat. But if you do that, so there will you all will have a head start. You'll have a different like for the moment it'll be split if you all do that. So
Okay, then.
breakfast. Yep, y'all get there and see a familiar face, big old French troll. Um, stacks of pancakes, and he's just flipping them to plates. Oh, pancake for you, bacon for you, bacon for you. And he sees y'all coming around the corner. Oh, my favorite students, breakfast time.
Good morning.
We're your favorites?
Ah, don't tell anybody, young Phelan, but you are my favorite. Oh, everybody's my favorites.
I don't think that's how that works. But okay.
Mm,
Surprise, surprise. I've got the bacon in the pancake and the bacon outside of the pancake. You can choose.
oh,
So they
I want
do
the
have
bacon.
both.
I want the bacon in the pancake.
Bacon pancake coming right up. And he just, as he says that, he flips it in the air and it just lands on the plate. And would you like anything on top of it, young Valen?
What are your options?
We have the freshest chocolate chips. We have the syrup. We have eggs. You can do savory, you can do sweet, or both.
Just put everything on it.
Everything. And he just piles it up. He's just like,
Everything.
everything, everything.
Just random spices and shit.
And so you end up with like this base of pancakes, but then you end up with like toppings that are like this thick on the pancakes.
Mm,
Exotic.
Cartoon.
thank you. Kadeem, are
most-
you ready to try and eat again?
Oh,
I will attempt to eat.
Okay. This one
And
looks extra spicy.
I will lower my head down to your level.
She takes part of the pancake and just instead of smushing it like she has been, she like slaps it on your face. That didn't work either.
No. I am still unable to eat. Do what?
Hmm. Bummer. And then she just starts to eat.
And as y'all are eating, you do see a familiar face walk by and just kind of notices you at a glance, and instead of making an exit through the eatery, just kind of makes a quick walk over, and it's Dina. She goes, "Oh, hey y'all, how y'all doing this morning?"
We are doing just fine, thank you.
Good, good. Well, I know y'all today's y'all's history class, and I hope history goes well for you. If you see me, you need any help, just let me know. And just kind of like pats everybody on the shoulder and wishes everybody a good day. And looks over at Phelan. Did you say your name was Phelan, hun?
Yes.
Oh, Phelan, did you have any family that came to Strixhaven?
I had a brother.
Oh, you had a brother. What
Mm-hmm.
was his name?
She kind of like this weird, like airiness that she's always had
Mm-hmm.
kind of stops and she narrows her eyes a little. I wonder. Why do I seem familiar to you?
Well, yeah. I thought I could have swore you reminded me of somebody. I could be wrong. I could be wrong though.
Well, if you must know, his name was Felix.
The Felix Hunt. Your brother was Felix.
the
Uh,
only one we've ever had.
were there
Oh
other
my.
Felixes?
No, just the one Felix I knew. Did he have white hair like yours?
Yes.
Oh well, I remember Felix. I miss him a lot. I wish I knew what happened to him, and I'm not sure if you've heard from him, but if you see him, tell him I said hey.
When was the last time you heard from him?
Well, when he was a senior, he was just a little bit older than me, and I never saw him after his last year. He said that he'd ride or he'd see me or say hey, and I just never heard from him.
Can I do an inside check?
Yeah.
God damn, +6. I'm insightful as shit.
Mhm.
17.
17.
Mhm.
So you kind of get the feeling that she she's excited that she's meeting you. Like you get the feeling that Felix has kind of talked about you to her, and
Mhm.
she was glad that she's excited that her hunch was correct. You get the feeling though that there is something that she's holding back as far as like information goes.
Okay.
But it's hard to put your finger on it. Just something she's excited to see you, and you can tell that she has interacted with Felix, but just something seems off.
Okay. And he didn't write to you at all after he left?
No, I haven't seen him. He was such a good student. He made sure I was not alone in the assignments, and if I had any questions, he was smart. He went to Witherbloom too with me, and it's just really good to see it. He talked a lot about you, and it's exciting to see you. But I better go. We've got a whole nother batch for culinary class. It was really good seeing y'all. And pats her hand on the table and starts to hurry off.
Hmm. Sure, I'll see you around.
Is there anything else that y'all want to do while you're in the breakfast area?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Chewy bacon all the way. I
No.
think the only I'm not going to convince any. I think the only person that I like that was team chewy bacon was Kate.
That was it. Though, when we went to the bachelor party this last weekend, the guy making our breakfast, one of the other groomsmen, made bacon and it was chewy, and I was like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "How do you like your bacon?" And I was like real bacon, cooked." I was like, "Put
Mhm.
that bitch." No, it was not Kevin, but I was like, "Put that bitch back on there till it's black."
Yeah. Burn it.
Mhm. So at this point, there is, like I mentioned, there is some time between the actual like history class. So if it is perfectly fine if one or everybody or some, just to reiterate, it's not going to be anything too crazy. But if you all are on the same consensus, you want to do the library before history, it's not going to mess anything up. Um, it's worth noting that as you obviously know, the library will be open. There will be normal activity. There will be people there. um, but you do have that choice if y'all wish to make before leaving the mess hall.
Are you guys going to do shady shit in the library? Hmm.
We still have time to check it out before class if you wish.
Was I supposed to? I don't remember. Was I supposed to go talk to Mavinda before class, or
It'll be at when you all get to Lorehold.
is our class in Lorehold?
Yeah, the class is in Lorehold.
Cool.
Let's go do shady shit in the library then.
To the library.
All right, so y'all leave the mess hall. The library at this point it's pretty busy. There's some people that are coming in and out grabbing their books for the class that they have going on. There's some people who are taking this time to study because their class that they have coming up, they have time. When you all get there, you have no problem getting in. It's the doors are open. You see constructs that are in a way kind of like greeting everybody. They don't feel like this standoffish. They're like, welcome to the library is what you hear as you approach, and you all enter the library. And first picture. see here.
Is it raining?
I think it is raining where we were at.
Yeah.
It sounds like rain outside real loud.
Funny because I didn't hear anything.
So this is one of the areas inside the library. It's now this granted this picture is one that is in the nighttime. Did I send this to the right chat? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in Curriculum of Chaos.
So the lighting is a bit brighter, but you see students checking out the various walls, just kind of trying to find, but kind of like they're at McKay's, just like scouring the areas, and you see somebody who's kind of working like a secretarial desk, and she's kind of the quote unquote librarian. You see an automaton kind of wheeling by, putting books back up on the shelves, and yeah, what do y'all do?
Shady shit in the library.
Maybe don't say that as we're walking around.
Dewey Decimal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Dewey? Hold on, I'm gonna go down a Google rabbit hole while we do this segment.
So yeah, I will say there is going to be some alphabetization to this.
It's okay.
there-
None of us can talk tonight. It's fine.
Melville Dewey. Wow, what a guy.
as you all enter, but like yeah, that's a good point, Mike. So it's alphabetized, but there are going to be sections that are like, as you probably see in McKay's, like fiction, nonfiction. So if you have something that you're looking for specifically, I'll let you know if it's going to be like on the next story, or if it's a couple rows down. But for the most part, yeah, everything's going to be alphabetized, but there's going to be different categories that everything is in. So if you're looking for like spells, we'll say there's a spells section and it's alphabetized. And if I'm looking for anything specific, then we'll dedicate that to a spot, and then it's going to be A to Z. Janistar,
Yes.
you begin to notice a faint amount of metal kind of rubbing in one of your pouches. You kind of hear it, but it just sounds like metal on metal, kind of like friction coming from one of your pockets.
I take a look.
So this is the compass that you bought.
Hmm.
So the compass
Oh,
so the compass is pointing not aggressively, but it's kind of waving back and forth, and it starts to kind of slowly stop, and then you see where it's pointing to on the first floor, a corner. And we'll say this is the Y section of the library, where this area is stories. So this is where you see like stories and lore, but it's pointing at that direction.
at the Y.
I start following it.
Okay, you do. And Phelan,
Yes.
you notice a spirit dwarf trying to reach a book that he can't get to.
Oh,
This is why you can't see ghosts, Mike.
I
She
was about to
goes,
say Mike would be the one to just be like,
do
Or-
you require assistance?
Yeah, yes, yes, I do actually. Thank you. And your name?
Phelan, which book did you need?
Oh, this one right here. And he points to a big red book.
That's the name of the book.
The big
The
red
big red.
book.
The book is actually
he points to
called.
the Kama Sutra, and I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe not.
The book is called Gnome Alone: A Guide to Protecting Homes from Banditry.
Hmm.
It's one of the books that I put in the library in my one shot.
She has the internal struggle right now of whether or not she tells this guy that this book will no longer help him, and then she's just like pulls it off the shelf and like sits it in front of him. Is there a specific page you wanted to look at, or?
And then he looks at it, he's so excited. He's like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much." And he's just like, it's like, "Can you turn a couple pages for me, please?"
Yeah, sure. She just flips the pages for him.
And it's,
The idea of people passing by and seeing her just like crouched and flipping pages.
so as you're trying to find the page for him, Shannistar. So you come to the section that the compass is pointing at, and you notice that the arrow is faintly toggling. What's kind of like an unnatural amount of accuracy between two exact positions. Um, you see two specific books that kind of stick out to you. Um, the first book you notice is what looks like a child's book called The Little Yuan-Ti. And then the other book that you notice is Yuan-Ti's Poisons of Everything. So you see these two books. What do you do?
I think I would reach for the poison book first.
Okay. All right, so you do. And the book is this very dark leather that is kind of old. I mean, it's very old. It's you do you open do you well, let me ask you this. Do you have it in your hand? Do you do anything? Do you open it up or do you
Oh, absolutely. I open it up.
Okay, so you do. So you open it up. You start to see some poisons that um are a little familiar to you. As you look at the book, you start to notice something very similar. Something very interesting catches your eye. It's a poison that is made from the luminescent parts of the trees in Witherbloom, and how it can be used for a catalyst to strengthen potions or um, create very large over like what's I'm looking for here. It makes poisons immensely stronger. Like it makes
More
their
potent.
more potent. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
it talks about you just kind of notice that the bioluminescence can be used to strengthen potions or poisons. And as you look
Interesting.
and as you do that, you notice a figure point um at some other poisons, and they say, "This could do some damage. What do you say, Shannistar?"
I think it could do quite a lot. Who's pointing?
So one of your visions,
Oh,
um,
good.
Oh, good.
and then the second vision comes next to it. We could do this all over the campus, Shannistar. We could poison the ones that are not worthy, and we could rule this school. Yes, I think that could be very, attainable. What say you, says Shanastar?
I say I hope to get to class soon.
Yes. Much to think about. Agreed. And they kind of slink back out of your peripheral, and you can't see them anymore. Okay.
No, I was gonna say I take the book.
Yeah, you do. So you take the Yuan-Ti's Poisons of Everything book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to have you roll a stealth. Nobody sees you take it.
Okay. What about the other book?
You want to grab that book?
Yeah, sure. Let's look at it.
Okay. So you grab that book. Far contrast from the first one. This is a gold. You know those Golden Spine books that
Yeah, the golden books.
the golden books. This has a very distinct picture in the front of a childlike Yuan-Ti who is running up kind of like a mountain hill, and you see some different, like, you see a tiefling, you see a dwarf, you see a half elf, and they're all running up with him, very jovial, like with little flags and smiles on their face. And what do you do with it?
I'm just gonna flip through that. You can go see what other people are doing.
So so we'll put a pin in where you're at.
Yeah.
So we have Alistair, Kadim, and Ezekiel. What are you doing, Ezekiel? Okay. So you're a good ways from Blake and a good ways from Kalina, but you do find the H's. Okay. Roll for perception with advantage.
Wee. You crack me up.
Okay, 17.
Oh, the other one was a 1. We don't talk about that one.
So you see a book that you see Hemo a couple times, HEMO, and you're kind of like, I don't know which one, but you see the one that just says hematology and you, and that one just like screams at you. But you find a book that you're looking for hematology. What do you do? Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for out of the book? Okay. So, the book talks about different magic that can be obtained within the blood and blood magic. Essentially, you you start to see different things that don't really quite match up with what your keen senses remember. There are things like, I don't know, just various spells that don't quite fit the mold of what you recall. But then you start to scroll, and then you see in the index it says avatar. So then you see the page where you see the word avatar.
Like the blue people or the other one?
And so after seeing that index, you go to the area that talks about blood avatars. Blood avatars in this book are described as rituals that can scale in great size depending on the sacrifice. They are beings of destruction. You see two examples. One is a four-armed titan, and then another one is a two-armed monster. So it talks about how they can shapeshift. They can alter their appearance. It does talk about a warning. Disclaimer: you see something that catches your eyes. The blood avatar uh, takes caution when performing the ritual around certain wild folk, certain um, roots and trees. If the ritual seeps into any type of roots or trees, then it can taint or cause illness to any type of like tree folk or um druid that is rooted into the ground, and that can cause kind of like a sub blood avatar to kind of like consume that being. So that part strikes you. You see in the pages that one example of it is they're using the ritual to embed the magic into like a tree folk, and it causes the tree folk to emulate this ability to where it's just kind of like hulking out. Essentially, it's not necessarily like the blood monster, but it has this like rage filling it, and it just uses what it's built to do and just kind of smashes. And so it's just as warning, the if the ritual is performed near roots or like trees, it could cause like a spread of it and cause additional craziness to happen. So that's something that your knowledge of what you read before leaving added to that. Yeah. So you do see you do see ways to negate blood magic or ways to combat it. So what you find is that it is while it is an accelerant in power, it does massively lose power in a small amount of time. So it starts off very strong, and then kind of in what feels like very quick amount of time will start to weaken, kind of like Venom for Bane. So yeah, so time, so it will ultimately fall to its power, to its craving for blood. If it cannot continue to feed that blood, it'll eventually just not have it'll kill its host, and eventually just kind of like congeal, and then you just see like a pool of blood on the ground. It's no longer active. So yeah, so if it's not killing and it's being and it's contained, then then its aggressiveness will start to kind of fade and calm down, and it'll eventually succumb to its own hubris. And Alistaria, what are you doing?
I guess I'm looking for something on artifacts or Allen artifacts. I want to find out what this rod is.
Okay. Yeah, so now there is a librarian who can kind of point you to that direction. It's this older female. It looks like a female human who is just kind of like doing office work. You kind of get the feeling that she might be able to point you in the right direction.
I mean, I don't want to just walk up to her and be like, "So, I was doing shit I wasn't supposed to be doing last night, and now I have this. What is it?"
So she was doing something, like she was filling out some type of paperwork, and she just slowly looks at you. What can I
Hello,
do for you?
Mike Wazowski. Do you know where I might need to look for information on Owlin artifacts? Or I'm not. Yeah, let's go with that.
She just looks at you and fixes her glasses. Be more specific, Owlin or artifacts?
No. Owlin and artifacts.
And she just has her hands. Hmm.
Artifacts specific to Owlin.
I guess you can try over there. And she points at an area that is kind of near the entrance where Kadim is at, and it looks like she it looks like she picked for you. You see where there is a section of Owlin, and there's like owl kind of like an owl mural above the books. So you kind of get the feeling that maybe she is pointing in the right direction.
I will go over there.
Okay. And you do. So you start looking at anything you're looking for. You see, said just Allen artifacts. And you're kind of scouring the spines of the books to see if anything jumps out at you.
Yeah, like I don't really know. I mean, I guess rods and staves, maybe like something. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Let's do the roll a perception with advantage.
Perception with advantage.
Damn, there's the ring.
$20.
So you find a book that you think is going to give you some information. It's Owlin Lineage. And Owlin Lineage is in this nice golden kind of like foiled spine, not like the gold book that I mentioned earlier, but something that is just kind of like it's nicer than a couple of the other books. Do you grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you grab it, and I presume you open it and kind of look through the pages.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, you start noticing that this book has Owlins that were previous head Owlins before Mavinda. Mavinda's in the book. You're like, oh, that's Mavinda, and it shows Mavinda's rod. It's not like it's more like a staff than a rod, and it's not made of It's not entirely made of metal. You're not sure what Mavinda's staff is made of, but it's not made of that metal that you have in your hand in your person. But you continue scrolling, and you see an Owlin in the book whose name is Shale. And here is a picture of Shale.
Ooh.
In the book, it talks about Shale being a former Dean of Radiance. So she is no longer alive. She was a cleric. She was a head Owlin, much like Mavinda. And you notice in that it jumps out to you immediately. She was the owner of this rod. The picture is exactly what it is. It talks about the elements of it kind of like are like metal. Everything just kind of starts making sense. This was this person's rod.
Okay.
You go on to read that she unfortunately lost her life during a attack many years ago at Strixhaven when they were attacked by what's called mage hunters. You see a picture of a mage hunter, and it's not what you think. It looks like Brood from Marvel Snap. You see that
So,
these. Oh, go ahead.
never mind. You're probably getting to it. Go ahead.
So you start reading, and then you see that the mage hunters are these little insects that have purple crystalline spines on their back, and they use that to siphon the life out of their prey. It's described in the book that Shale led refugees of the school to the catacombs to hide from the attack. However, unfortunately, you read further that the mage hunters and infested the catacombs, and there was no survivors, including the bodyguard that that was with Shale.
So, after reading this, do I think that the Owlin that we saw in the catacombs was Shale?
Um,
Since
So
there were
no, you're fine. So you in the book it says that her body was not able to be recovered.
right,
But
but this wasn't it just a spirit or was it like a zombie?
it was a skeleton. So
Oh, okay, okay.
in the pages it reads that her bodyguard was able to be found and buried, and her body was unfortunately never to be found again.
So the bodyguard is who I saw then. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So now we're gonna go to Kadim. What are you doing, Kadim?
I would like to if you remember what we discussed earlier, I would like to start looking for anything about um beings from like other dimensions, um anything extra terrestrial sort of, anything of that nature to try to unravel, things that I know from my past.
So you let's say you go up and ask for the direction from the librarian. I get to test on my Roz voice a little bit more.
Okay. Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
I am looking for information on extra dimensions and extra dimensional travel or extra dimensional creatures.
She takes her glasses off. You mean space, honey?
Not necessarily space, alternate dimensions.
Ah, yes. Alternate dimensions. Hmm. And she kind of thinks to herself. Ah, right over there, next to that girl reading a book on the floor.
Why, thank you. And I will head over towards where she pointed me.
So at that point, Phelan, you continue, like you're almost to the very back of this book.
She's in it.
Oh, stop!
She's
Go back! Go back!
she has started reading at this point. Oh wow, that really works.
Yes, that's what I want. The spikes. They never expect the spikes at the door.
Oh, but are you supposed how deep are you supposed to dig the hole for the spikes? That seems a bit much.
I no. I'll dig it. That is not my worries.
Oh, she like looks him up and down. That's not your worry, huh?
No, no, no. And it's almost like he's not aware that he's dead.
Hmm.
Oh well, thank you very much. I'm ready to go. And he just he kind of leaves the book and starts like hi ho out to the library.
Interesting.
It's at this point you see Kadim walking towards you.
Oh, hi, Kadeem. I just learned a whole lot about Gnome House security infrastructure.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting and specific subject.
You think there'll be a quiz on it?
I don't foresee that. We're taking a history class today.
Then why is this in a school library?
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of strange books here. I'm looking for
Hmm.
one that's rather strange myself.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for information about alternate dimensions and extraterrestrial beings.
She like stares at him, does that
Hmm?
head tilt where she's kind of looking a little bit more past his shoulder than him, and then goes, "Huh. Well, that sounds interesting. I guess I could help you look."
Sure. I was told to look right over here, and I'll point to where the librarian sent me to and start to look closer at the shelf.
Right beside home security. What a weird decimal system they have here. They must have changed it after that man Dewey Decimal was accused of being racist. Do you know he hated Jews?
I
So this-
can't with you.
I did not.
I believe that is my people.
Hard to keep that voice when I'm making the jokes.
The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, he started up like a club that they let all the white men in and didn't let any Jews in or black people, and they started to wonder, wow, this guy may be racist.
Wow.
And then he was. Oh, also
I
he apparently was uncontrollable around women. What do you think that means?
Oh.
I really do not know what to say. I am wholly unfamiliar with the concept.
You learn a lot from a
Women?
book about gnome, security systems.
Yeah, I'll say.
So this is a stretch. Gnome starts with a G. I was trying to think of another G, like way to do the book. So you see a book that kind of sticks out to you called Great Dimensions.
Mm.
I will reach out and pick it up.
Okay. So this book is very, I'm not gonna say nerdy, but it uses a lot of different like scientific terms, and talks about how different planes can exist, and what planes have been discovered. But this is just something that you kind of start to understand as you scroll. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But what are you looking for?
I'm looking for anything specifically related to like the Egyptian pantheon, and things that might be tied to that, as far as like where the ideas from these gods came from, and just like where they came from, and also information about the enemies that I discussed with you earlier, to see possibly where they may have come from as well.
Okay. So you start reading. You're trying to find the information you're looking for, and it's kind of cryptic. You're seeing a lot of different stuff on different different existences and different possible planes of existence, and you keep looking. You're not giving up. You're still searching, and I'm gonna put a pin on that, and then we're gonna go to Blake.
Hmm. What is that?
What?
Kalina's over here
What is
being
going on?
Kalina.
Oh no. No.
I was like, is it a man or a woman?
Yes.
Sorry, carry on.
Is that the next teacher after we chase off the bear?
Yeah.
Mike asked me to Google, so
World's our
I went.
oyster.
I like Ruxa better.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I did not expect Ruxa to be the
target.
the target at all. So Blake, where we left off with Shannon, you're just flipping through the pages.
I did. I just flipped through it a little bit, kind of looking at the pictures, and
It's not a very large book. It's pretty thin, but it's what it lacks in depth, it makes up for in imagination. It it starts off with this page that it's quite the hook. It says there once was a little Yuan-ti who lived in a life of misery, and you see this little picture of a Yuan-ti kind of sad and just in a in a forest area by himself, and just kind of like combination of bored and sad. And as you scroll in the pages, you start seeing where it says there once was a little tiefling, um, who lived in a life of loneliness. And you see there once was a little half elf who wished she had some friends. You kind of get what the book's trying to do. It's trying to like depict these little kids who are just kind of looking for camaraderie or looking, to be in a better spot. And then you reach a page where it said, um, and then the tiefling found company and no longer lived that life of misery. And then that tiefling, and then that Yuan-ti found a half elf, and that half elf no longer was lonely. So the message is pretty clear, but the message is impactful. It's about you know you know being together and just kind of not feeling left out and always looking for another. And then at the end of the book, you just see these kids marching together in happiness. And it's at this point, Blake, that you don't get visited by a vision of a Yuan-ti. You start seeing this, you start hearing this voice um, as you kind of look over the pages, and the voice says, "Oh, my Shanastar," and it's a Loxodon that looks at you. Shanastar, I miss you.
And you as well.
I love that book. I remember reading it when I was young. Did you ever read this one?
They did not have such literature where I grew up.
Well, she looks around the light. You just see her kind of looking into the library. Well, they don't have very many books from their students here. I'm happy that you are away. And I know you were trying to do. You wanted to bring people together. That's what our learning was about.
I'm trying, at least.
I know it's hard. I cannot even. I can't even imagine what you're going through. But maybe you don't have to go through it alone. And maybe one day we'll be reunited. But I'll try to say hey to you every now and then, okay?
That would be nice.
And there's just this, it's almost like a bubble of calm as the library continues to have eager students looking for different books that's going to captivate them today, and trying to overcome the anxiousness of their new year. None of that is felt in this area of the library, this area of the library that appears to have both enticements of poisons and the likes, and then just kind of like a child's book just kind of thrown over there. It's just kind of like this calmness, and for a moment there's peace in that area, um, and then this Loxodon uh, is no longer in the present. She's there and then she's gone.
Shanastar would probably stand there for a moment and then just slowly put the book back.
Okay. All right. Now with that, we're gonna now Mike, did you feel pretty content with your findings with the hematology book? I'm not sure if you muted.
Yeah.
Time is the the audible oh.
I can see it.
Like a kind of like a pseudo initiative where we're just making sure everybody kind of gets a little nugget of what they're looking for and during this library visit. Yeah. Okay. So the dean as far as like at Silver Quill or okay.
I might want to do something before we leave.
Sure. What you got?
Do they have old yearbooks in here?
Yeah.
I'm specifically gonna look for the yearbooks that have Felix in them, and then try and spot like people that he's in pictures with, like frequently. Like if I could see a pattern of people that he
Okay.
most likely spent time with here.
Okay. Yeah. So you do some quick, math and come to the consensus of a book that would likely have kind of like a stock photo of Felix,
Mhm.
and you scroll through a book where are you looking for mainly like the last book that he might have had a picture in or anything in
Yeah, he
particular?
definitely his like senior year.
Okay. So you find that. You look in the book and it's pretty it's what you'd expect. There's a lot of different um a lot of different pictures of faculty and students kind of doing what feels like stock images of just like smiles and group shots with their classmates, and then you see most likely to do this, most likely to do that. And
Mhm.
then you see Felix's picture, and it's about what you'd expect of Felix. I'm not sure if Felix is going to have this unique like kind of like side looking into space as well, but you can tell that's your brother in that picture.
Mhm.
You also notice as you're finding that picture that there is a picture of Dina in there.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, this book has stuff that's written in it. Um, in the book, you do see that that very like um to be expected little like the heart and the little like arrow, and then it says Dina and Felix written in that book.
That bitch. I mean, interesting.
She completely like loses her accent. Just
Interesting.
Is anyone near me?
I think I'm
Kadim's
there
right.
with you, right?
Kadim's close to you.
Oh yeah. Hey Kadeem.
Hello.
Could you do me a small favor?
Sure.
Um, I found something really hateful in this book, and I think that it needs to be not in this book anymore. So, if you could turn the other way while I commit a very small and harmless crime, that would be
What
great.
sort of a crime are you committing?
She like makes eye contact with Kadeem and then slowly tears the page out. that has the heart thing.
Hey,
I've
Lynn.
committed. It was hateful. Look, did I not tell you just now about the Dewey Decimal? It was like that.
Yes, but you could get in big trouble for that.
Well, that's why we just won't tell anybody.
I should. But
What?
If you can give me a reason why I shouldn't, I will listen. What's so
Right.
bad about the page in this book?
Well, it is proof of a liar, and I need the proof.
So it serves as the means to an end.
For justice, yes. You like that, right? Black and white stuff, justice?
I do prefer justice.
Great, then we are in agreement. And she like shuts the book and puts it back on the shelf and like basically shoves the paper in her robes.
Okay.
Damn, some kind of paladin you are.
Fighting with every fiber of my being not to go tell the librarian.
Well, if you could not be a narc, that would be really fucking sad.
I am trying.
So at this point, Kadim, you have some type of like just built-in awareness that there is this the sense that history class is uh starting to it's almost time for it to start.
Okay. I'll put the book back and I guess I'll just go ahead and gather everyone up, kind of get my eyes on where they're at and just sort of, gently uh, let them know it's class time.
I cast
Now,
invisibility, fuck you.
he on me to everyone else.
That will not work.
now I will say when you put the what you managed to find in the book, you do find something that resembles the creature that you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Um, so you do note that this creature was persistent with its travels. Um, you find out that you were not the first nor the last,
Hmm.
and that it's not something that is it's still being it's still something that's being explored. There's not something that's fully fleshed out about it, but there are more tales as you find out that were more than just you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if everyone's ready, I believe it's time for class.
I have to speak to Mavinda.
Yes, she will be waiting for us when we arrive in Lorehold.
Lovely.
So
Is
you'll make it
everyone finished?
okay. Yeah.
That should be okay.
What class do we have now?
It is history class.
Oh.
Who's
History, or is
history?
it like that guy who said it was archaeology but not really history and we had to correct him because he didn't
I
know what
s-
he was actually teaching?
You bullied him.
yeah.
You
Oh,
bullied
you did.
him. You bullied him into changing the name of his own damn class.
We sure did.
I did notice the class schedule was labeled mythology, and now it is labeled history. All right. Well, Ezekiel, go have your conversation with the dean, and we will meet up with you in class.
All right. So here's where we're at. So we have Kadim, Phelan, Genistar. Um, y'all are in one group. And actually, Alistaria is as well. So Alistaria is essentially with you all getting to Lorehold, and then we'll have her thing. So Mike. Uh, so when you say Dean, we do. So I'll give you a couple options here. You can seek out specifically the person who's overseeing the Silverquill campus, or you can seek out the Oracle Yazdi, the person who's kind of like the head person. Do you have a preference over which one you want to visit? Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So we'll say that you you seek out Oracle Yazi, or she seeks out you, and like she finds you, and you rather than in an office environment or like an interior, um she awaits, or you await for her, and you all meet in the grounds, like the main, like the school area, where to the outside plaza, and she comes and has a sit with you, and she asks you, tell me, Ezekiel, how can I help you today? Lou Ambrose, yes. I am aware. Mm, the catacombs? Mm, yes. And I think you are aware of what we're going to have to do. Ezekiel,
Can you imagine being down there and just seeing like a fucking wall of cement? It's
Hmm?
it's like a volcano erupting, but it's just cement coming down.
Do you think dark magic can go through cement? Keep adding more.
Like Vader
Put
being
some rebar
encased.
in there, then it's gonna be super strong.
Yeah.
No dark magic here, boss.
Mm, well, Ezekiel, if I be perfectly honest with you, the faculty refuse to admit it nor believe it. Um, but yes, I know Lou is chasing a pipe dream, unfortunately, and we will have to most likely put a permanent stop to him, unfortunately. Oh, you're quite the vocal one, aren't you, Ezekiel? You know, I could sit here and talk to you all day, or listen to you all day, but essentially what we're going to do is spring a trap for Old Blue, and as you probably have read, let him tire himself out, and then we will do with what we need to. I know that this is all very unusual for you, and being a student is something that you probably don't want to be, and magic might slightly interest you, but I'm glad that you're here. I really am. And I'm glad that, from what I have gathered, that you're here on our side. I think what is to be expected in the coming hour is something that we will be prepared for. But we're prepared to handle your grandfather one way or another. And I'm terribly sorry that this is not something you signed up for. we shall be ready, and I shall tell you and let you and your group know. How is your friends, by the way? Your friends. Absolutely, and I thank you for communicating with me, young Ezekiel. Um, it is very important that the situation be monitored, but we don't um, cause any large panic. It is a situation to nonetheless be fully aware of, but I I will let you know when we are ready to address Lou, and we are monitoring him. You can count on it. I can't.
We use pigeons here. Wait till D&D releases the Pigeon Folk race.
Hmm.
They just shit on everything.
She stands she stands up and tells you, "Be prepared for Professor Rux's class. That will be one to remember." She looks at you as, "Why did you get that?" Hmm. I don't know.
She goes,
If you're thirsty, I can get you some water. I don't know what would happen. I've never seen that before. It's a foreign substance, Ezekiel. Okay. It's almost like she already knows you're going to do it. She's just kind of like waiting for you to do it. She stares at you. It won't hurt. It won't hurt you, Ezekiel.
She called his bluff.
Yep.
Snap. Right. And she just walks away, and at that point, do you kind of catch up with the group? Okay. And it's at this point, Kadeem, the rest of you all make it to Lorehold campus, and at that point, there's not much time left. You all start to kind of find your seats in this kind of cylindrical area, um, where the class is going to. It's pretty obvious that once y'all get there, that's going to be where the history class is. But as you get there, Alistair, you see Mavinda just kind of reading something off in the corner.
Can she just like put her little wing up and try to just walk past?
You can, yeah. You want to roll? Want to roll for
Yeah.
stealth?
Yeah.
Roll. You can roll for stealth if you want.
Okay, hang on. Let's see.
What is your stealth at? A +2. That's
Oh, natural 20!
Nice.
All right.
dodged the conversation.
suddenly 17 other Allen students come out of nowhere just swarm around you.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. No. She'll walk up to her.
So with a nat 20 in stealth, you give yourself away, and you have the wing up, and then you get you get real close to her. She's real into this book. Like she's like right next to you, and you kind of put your wing, you put your wing down, and she's like, "Well, if it ain't all Alistair there, honey, how you doing?"
You know, Melinda, I could have walked right past you. You were so distracted. If you're waiting on me, maybe you should, be paying more attention to me walking in because I could have just blew you off and you would have never known.
Honey, I'm at a really good point in this book. I gotta admit, I keep my head in the books, and I get me a good book.
If that's more important, I can trust me. I will be on my way.
No,
fuck.
I deeply apologize. I just want to have a quick little one-on-one with you, a little powwow. I'm just checking in with all my little owlins, and don't want you to think I forgot about you. How's everything been going?
She's just kind of like, why does she have so much energy? Um, things are going fine. She kind of pauses for a minute, like, do I really just completely give myself away? And she kind of looks around. Is there anybody else in the hallway or the corridor, like, where they
No,
can
it's
hear us?
just you two.
Okay. Listen, Melinda. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not going to tell you to not get mad at me. I really don't care. It doesn't matter at this point. But what I need you to do is not get me in trouble.
Oh, honey, let's take a seat over here. Is everything okay? What's going on?
So some shit's going down, and the important part is I think I found a staff or a rod that from what I've read, I believe belonged to an Owlin from the past that's no longer here, named Shale. Does that name?
Shale, honey, you said Shale.
Yes.
Shale who tried to fight off the mage hunter. Shale. Oh, let me see, honey. Let me see.
And she'll kind of pull it out of her bag and
So as you present it to her, she's gonna try to pick it up, and it's real heavy. You start to kind of notice that to everybody else, it's rather heavy, but to you, it's not as heavy.
this is fucking Mjolnir.
Um, meow meow. And she kind of looks at it, and she goes, "Mm, yeah, this was Shale's all right. Oh, rest in peace. She was a good one. Alistair, let's talk. Let's talk." And she puts the rod on like a little like table, and it's just you and her. And this is just moments before the class starts. Alistair, it goes without saying that you picked up the rod. And did you experience anything unusual happen?
Um, I had some visions.
Okay, alrighty. And anything else weird happen? Anything afterwards?
I'm already in it. Okay. There was an Owlin skeleton
Okay,
that bowed to me
okay.
as I walked by it.
And that's normal. That's normal. I know this is very jarring.
If you ever
Normal?
see an owl skeleton and it bows to you, that's perfectly normal.
That's I don't for you to say that is okay.
Now listen, honey. Mum's the word, okay? Don't have to say anything else. This is just gonna be between you and me. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that you have the rod of Shale, and that rod is now attuned to you. It's now yours. Now, when you grab that rod, I'm guessing that the Allen tried to strike at you or was acting real weird at first.
Yes.
So what happened? Listen, honey. What happens is when you're bestowed a rod, if you're not the natural owner of that rod, it's going to be very jarring to the Allen who are connected to it with you. Now, when it bowed to you, you must have done something that earned its respect. Was there any act of bravery or act of kindness or act of good that the Allen took notice of?
Pulled my friend out of some quicksand.
That did it. So now listen, when this rod allows you to communicate with that Allen. Now, granted, that Allen has long since seen some days, and now it's all a little all bony, but that's okay. What I can do for you, honey, is I can go ahead and get the rod to attune to you and one of our fellow Allen, so that way, whenever you use it, there's going to be an Allen who comes in and helps you in a time of need. I'm not going to take this thing from you. It's not part of the Allen code. We just got to support one another here, okay? So it's not gonna give you an army. We don't have that many Allen, but it gives you one to help you whenever you need it. Once a day, okay?
Okay. So I noticed in the book that this rod, it the way that it is now, it appears to be broken. Like it was depicted, the rod is this metal piece, but there was an additional. It looked more like a staff than a rod in the book.
Well, we can try to fashion it or kind of fix it. I can't guarantee anything, but do you trust me to tune it, or do you want to keep it the way it is and have Mr. Bones help you? It's your choice.
No, I think I trust you to do with it what you will.
Okay. Well, this is exciting, huh, honey? I did not expect Alistair of all people to get an Allen rod. I didn't expect it. This is just a crazy year already.
What is that
And she,
supposed to mean?
well, I didn't think that this rod was ever going to be found. I didn't expect. I,
Likely story.
but everything's gonna be okay, honey. I can tell you're nervous. I can tell you didn't want to be forthcoming with that information, but I appreciate you did. And she tries to give you a big old hug.
Just as every other time before, her arms are down next to her sides, and she's just kind of like, okay.
You know something else there? You give the best hugs. Bring it in.
You don't have to lie to me. And she's gonna. I I have class. I guess I'll meet up with you later to get this thing.
Yeah, I'll bring it to you. I'll bring it to you at your room. Go on now, get.
And she's just gonna turn around and leave.
And so at this point, everybody but Ezekiel is at class, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. So we're gonna take a break. If anybody needs to use the restroom or get a drink, we're gonna walk our dog, and then we'll be back in like 5.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you. Very good. So after Alistaria has had her one-on-one with Mavinda, she is caught up with Shanastar, Phelan, and Kadim, who have found a place to sit. Now, just to kind of show the scene, we are in an interior area that is very open. It has a very ornate circular center that looks like almost kind of like a theater, but more for the teachers to speak. The seats are something that feels very theater as well. They're very uh, curved, almost like they kind of wrap around the oval with different levels seats for everybody to see. And you see Plarg and Hoffrey talking amongst each other. And then you start to see a couple other constructs kind of strung through the room as well. And as everybody takes their seat, you hear Plarg begin to speak. Hello, everyone. Welcome to history class. And he looks over at the group that Ezekiel is part of. They take the heat for that. And you start to hear his conversation. And he looks over at everybody and says, tell me, young students, have you had a conversation today with your construct? Have you asked it, how you doing? Have you asked your construct, what was life like before you were here? And he looks over at another group. Odds are you probably haven't talked to your construct. Why? It's just part of school. They're just constructs. I hear it all the time. And he looks over at Hoffrey, and he just shakes his head. They'll never understand Hoffrey, will they? And you see Hoffrey just kind of like look at me and goes, maybe we can teach him today, sir. Well, today's history class, we're going to be looking into the mines. Sorry, I'm getting old and I have a cough. We're going to be looking into the mines of a special construct today. And that construct is Kadim. Kadim, would you kindly come down
Yes.
for it, please?
Really?
Okay. So I'll get up and I guess walk down to the front of the class.
Now, you may or may not have seen this construct walking around, students. Kadim is one of our newest additions to the school. And today, what you're going to have the pleasure of seeing is a glimpse into the life of Kadim and see the footsteps that he took all those years ago before he was entombed. Oh, it just gets me chills every time.
Oh, thank God. I
Alright.
thought they were going to talk about the food that I've been trying to shove through his face this whole time.
Oh, by the way, Phelan,
Yes.
roll me a regular d20.
Just an up and down, boy. Alrighty.
It's an up and down.
I was not on the right thing, so now you have to wait. The suspense, I know.
Killing us.
Good, so then I can talk to you when you're dead. It is wow, it's a 10.
Okay. There was no such thing as a bad one for this. I've just got a bunch of
Okay.
different ghouls lined up for
Ooh.
whatever you rolled. So a 10. So that roll makes it to where you're sitting kind of like you're gonna be sitting next to after Kadim gets down. It's Alice. It's Shannistar, you,
Mhm.
Alisteria, and on the step below you where the people are sitting, but you can kind of see under you. You see a young tiefling writing down the lecture with frayed hair and glasses, and you see that she's been writing down as much as she can of what Plarg has been saying. Um, and she's wearing her school attire, and she's just, writing down like a good student is. And that's what you see.
Who's sitting beside me? Did we ever pick? I imagine Ezekiel and I probably sit together ever since we stole that one kid's
Yeah.
food.
Yeah. Now, Ezekiel has not yet caught up. So that
Oh, he's not here? Okay.
I
I
think
think he said it
Uh,
was Shannistar and me.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason
Uh,
that Ezekiel's there, I think he mentioned before the break, is that he was just walking around.
oh, that's right, that's right.
Oh, you were
Um,
joking. Okay, good, 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 good. No, you're fine. I was fixated on the just for some reason I heard walking. I was like, okay, I'm gonna remember that. And then I guess I just got too wrapped up in that. So yeah, so you're next to Ezekiel. So it's going to be Shannistar, Ezekiel, you, and then Alisteri, I think, is what I got there.
she
Yeah.
leans toward Ezekiel. How do you think that, like, ghosts write? Do you think they make, like, ghost pens? Or if they die with a pen in their pocket, they get to keep it? So do you see a pen moving down there? She just points.
So you do. You see, yeah, you see a pin just kind of like moving like this. Mhm.
Yeah, little tiefling. Man, I don't know how I'd feel being stuck in. Do you think that when she died here, this was still a mythology class?
As,
Yeah. Do you
as you
think
say,
we, like, ruined her chances at the afterlife?
as you're as you're talking to Ezekiel, you quickly see that the tiefling look at you going, and just
Oh, yeah, she's mad. She's big.
she just kind of like blows her hair. I'm not mad. I'm just trying to not fail this class again.
Was it a mythology class when you first took it?
Was they're changing things up on me.
It was current history.
Current events.
Oh.
She's just trying to pay attention. She's like, oh, she just keeps writing. So you see that going on, and then back to Plarg. So Kadim steps down and tells everybody, let us dive into the mind of Kadim, everybody. And you kind of see this, like, kind of like this magical, like, hand gesture to kind of get a lot of the bright lights kind of covered or curtained, and you just kind of see some torchlight. Of course, like torchlight not near the curtains because that'd be school hazard, but um, very similar to a projector, I will say that. And Hoffrey begins the incantation. You just kind of see him kind of like doing this kind of weird praying. You start to see scrolls from the corner kind of shake, and then they kind of fly around, and you start seeing this almost kind of like a kind of like a ribbon. You know how they do like the ribbon dance? You see some of these scrolls kind of like unwinding and like flying into the air, and then all of a sudden you kind of see them making this perpetual circle in the oval, and then you see these embers start to light up the center. And it's interesting. It feels like it's like a fire, like a campfire, but there's no warmth coming from it. It's just light. And while these embers are starting to kind of take shape, you start to kind of see that it's creating silhouettes, it's creating people, and as it comes to shape, it shapes into this kind of like 3D projection that looks like a house, like a building. Um, and then you see children in the off playing, and then you see a ball um, being kicked, and a child chases after the ball. Um, this is when you start to see kind of like a carriage or a something on wheels being pushed or being carried into the site, the ball. And Kadeem, you want to share with us what they see at this point?
Sure. So, um, on the other side of the sort of street, this is sort of like on the main thoroughfare of kind of a ancient civilization, sort of in the to the side of like a market. There is a caravan that's going down the road, um, and there's some kids playing with a ball over on the side. They're kicking it around, and you see a young man, probably in his early 20s, walking along with like a spear in hand, um, sort of dressed up as like a city guard, just sort of patrolling up and down the street. And one of the children kicks the ball into the street where there's a caravan coming through and runs out to get it. Upon seeing this, you see the guard notice it and just in the nick of time dives to grab the child and sort of grabs them and puts them on the other side of the road and sort of stands them back up and asks, "That was dangerous, are you okay?"
And then you see the kid kind of like nod his head like, mm-hmm. And he just kind of like runs off with his energy.
So the guard wipes his head and sort of looks around and just making sure everything else is all right, and get kind of waves at the caravan and gives them the go ahead to keep going.
Then Plarg kind of commentary does a little bit of commentary on that. So I see. Looks like a little bit of a slice of life here. As you can see, kids, Kadim is not just somebody who watches your door while you're sleeping. It's not somebody who is your alarm clock. Kadim was a protector of his people. Just making sure a kid doesn't get injured, making sure play is as innocent as it can be. Just like our lives. Just like the lives that we lived before Strixhaven and the lives that we leave coming from Strixhaven. Remember that your construct had a life before he arrived here. And then as this image starts to kind of like glow a little bit more brighter, it starts to lose its shape, and then it distorts into just these floating embers, and it shapes into a new image where you see this table, this large circular table where it looks like there's these people playing cards. You see a couple of them just kind of like holding their cards, and you see one guy just throwing his hand down. It's like, breed him and wait, fellas. And then you start to see everybody just kind of like, oh, come on. And he pulls in the chips, and um in these images you start to see that it's these people playing a card game. Man, why you gotta get the best hand all the time? How do you do this? What are you doing over there? And then he's like, no, you gotta have the hands, you gotta have the luck. Luck is on my side. And then you see Kadim, um, his eyes are just kind of like glowing this bright color, as the scrolls start to circulate him as well. And um, everybody roll a perception for me, except for Kadim.
None for you, Kadim.
You get
It
nothing.
always,
12, but I'll take my 17 passive.
dude, it always startles me when it like when you click to roll it and it like fucking throws it across the screen. I'm like, God damn, someone calm.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it's very aggressive.
14.
Angry.
14.
Yeah.
14. Okay. And what was yours, Blake?
13.
13. Okay, so you all see this. Y'all rolled. You got higher than a 10. So you start to notice Kadim has something in his hand as this is being shown, and it's something that at first you're not sure what it is, but then you realize that it's this mascot plushie that he got from the from Fane that is on him. He's holding it in a way that's very personal. Um, and for a lot of people, they're kind of like whispering and they're kind of like pointing at him, like holding this plushie, and it's just kind of odd or weird. But you notice that as he's standing there with that, there's something that is just kind of like a little off with Kadeem right there and there. He's holding it in a very personal way.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, it's at this moment, Phelan, you start noticing the tiefling that's sitting under you, just writing. It's like, alrighty, construct, history. I better pass this freaking class. She just keeps writing, and she's like blowing her hair, and she kind of looks at you, and at Phelan, and she says, "Are you just gonna stare at me all day?"
Mhm. Not all day. There's just something very curious about you.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's something awfully curious about you as well.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe.
Hmm.
Like, how can you see me?
So you know you're dead.
Yes. But even if I'm dead, I might as well learn what I can. Died being a student, stayed dead being a student, I guess.
And how exactly did you die in this school?
Well, I guess I wasn't taking care of myself. I skipped meals, s- tried to take extra classes, tried to get good grades. Didn't sleep, didn't eat. I guess I got ill. I don't know.
Hmm.
Roll a perception for me.
Okay.
Feel personally attacked on a very real level right now.
17.
Okay. So you notice that she's got a whole bunch of papers below what she's writing on from other classes at Lorehold campus. So
Mm-hmm.
she's studying things like um uh historic weaponry, um militarization history, just really kind of studying a lot about Lorehold. And yeah, so essentially while she's writing this stuff, it's almost as if the stuff is just not like staying on the parchment that she's projecting, almost as if what
Mm-hmm.
she's writing is just not being stored on the paper.
Do you really need those notes? Do you remember everything that you've collected since you've died? Or does it just sort of fade away?
Well, she kind of stacks them and kind of sits them down, and she just kind of crosses one of her leg and kind of stares at you. Well, I try to remember everything I can. Some of it comes, some of it goes. To be honest, same classes, same notes. Sometimes you think you do it more than once, and it would stick with you. But I guess I can't learn everything. Gosh, I haven't
Hmm.
talked. I feel like I haven't talked to somebody in a long time like this.
What is your name?
My name is Ren.
Well, Ren, you seem like you might be a real useful friend for me to have around if you wouldn't mind teaching me a few things.
And what's your name?
Phelan.
Phelan. Maybe I'm getting. Maybe I'm getting tired of studying anyway. Guess I should have made some friends. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Hmm. You wouldn't be my
And after,
first ghost friend.
oh no, not, I'm not.
No, it's not strange for me at all.
Hmm. She kind of smirks and it's kind of like, okay. And she stops studying and like writing down everything, and she just kind of like looks and watches and kind of is more in the moment now than she was in like her thoughts. And at this point,
Meanwhile, Ezekiel's like, huh?
you know, um, is there any what Alistaria, Shannon Star, Ezekiel? You definitely kind of see this happening. Is there anything? What do y'all do?
I Star ignores it because he still doesn't understand what's happening.
Mhm.
He's
I
choosing not
mean,
to pay attention.
Alistair knows that Phelan does this, so I mean, it's not really out of the ordinary for her necessarily.
Yeah. So as the projection continues, um, Trevor, you want to add anything that to the scene that I may have missed, or any other details that you see in Kadim's head?
Yeah, so while the group of guards are all at the table playing cards and laughing, you see the same guard you saw earlier save the child out of the street, and he's posted up against the wall, and he's just having a drink, having a good time, laughing along. There's a couple guys, just telling some tall tales about uh, stuff that they've done that's probably not true, and it's just kind of like a moment of joyfulness, sort of in the guards' quarters, from a time long, long ago.
Nothing like a little bit of happiness, I say. Happiness is something that is not guaranteed to us in this world, everybody. And as you can see in Kadim's history, it was something that is not always in his life, but it was appreciated. Little, big, we all have our moments of happiness, and it's very important that we live in them. We appreciate the good times before they are known as the good times, I always say. In this history class, you will get to know the good times and the bad of many constructs around here. And don't worry, we will take our time. We'll spend time getting to know the time periods and the historical figures. But today's lesson, it's very important that we understand that the constructs are individuals who have slices of life like us, and moments of happiness and moments of sadness. It's at that moment the embers start to kind of light up and flare around as well, and you see this image of horror. It looks like these beings are coming out from nowhere in the sky, just pillaging and attacking ceaselessly the people that you can only assume are the ones playing cards and the ones um, chasing a ball in the streets. Um, and then what other things do we see in Kadim's vision, Trevor?
The beings that are coming from the portals are very hard to describe. They almost look pixelated, um, and like they have a pixelated structure. They're just coming out of these sort of rifts that are opening here and there and just flooding in, flying in. It's very hard to make out what they are, but when people are coming into contact with them, they're just obliterated immediately. They are just mass murdering everyone. There's people screaming and running away, trying to get inside. These things are busting down doors and just indiscriminately murdering everything in sight. Um, so you see the same young man that you've seen in the past two uh, scrambling to get his gear to try to help people to safety. It's at this moment that he turns around and sees one of these beings. As it grabs him, he just explodes into a million pieces and is just completely dissolved everywhere. He's just a splatter on the sand. And after you see that, you see this sort of a bright light. This pillar of light comes down, and you sort of see the aspect of a hawk show up in the sky, and it says in a very loud, booming voice, "Do not fear. We are here to eliminate the threat." And it sends out this wave of light that disperses all of these beings that were flooding in before. And as it looks upon the few people that unfortunately met their end to these beings, it says, "We take pity. We will give you all a second chance." And the eyes glow very brightly as you see the remains of the young man that was blown to bits get reassembled in a sort of through a sort of it's like it's picking up pieces of the environment. It's all sort of being formed back in a pixelated manner until it becomes the construct that you all know as Kadim. And it says, "We bestow upon you our strength," and it puts the aspect of the hawk as his head and says, "The threat's not over. We shall return." And it leaves in a flash of light. And you see the construct sort of get up and look around, and that's kind of where it just fades out.
Yeah. So what do y'all do when you see that?
I wasn't paying attention.
So what you're telling me is he did used to have a mouth and could eat the thing. So there's a chance.
Still there's a chance.
Shanister's like, so aliens are a thing.
That one's concerning too.
Did not have that on my bingo card.
You see Ren just captivated, and the young tiefling looks back at Phelan. So y'all's construct is an alien.
He's not
It
Oz.
appears
He's just help.
you can talk to ghosts now?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's the dead one.
Holy shit.
Whoa!
Oh my god, I can talk to dead people.
Oh my god.
That's interesting. Suppose he is.
It's a pity he can't eat.
Maybe if we rip his head off. Ah.
Phelan, you just see Ren kind of you just see Ren kind of thinking, could rip the head off. Probably feed it that way. And back to Plarg's speech. So after this, rather to some, can be kind of horrific to see. For most, it's very oohs and ahs, like just kind of a young perspective of students seeing some crazy stuff like that. Kids, I must tell you that life, whether it's come to you or not, is going to have tragedy as much as it is going to have happiness.
Oh.
And that is why part of our history class will also include protection, making sure that you can fight the threats that are present and not present. And so that is why part of our session today we will be pairing you up with constructs to teach you how to fight today. Alrighty. Everyone, to the fighting quarters. And
Oh, did we get to beat up Kadeem?
I thought this was a mythology
Mm.
class.
No, his history. We got him to change the name.
That's
we'll
right.
get him to change the
But
name.
now I'm wondering if this should be like an Ancient Aliens class.
What's
So then you hear Plarg. You see Plarg just kind of like turn off everything, and it's kind of odd. I don't think anybody expected him to just go off into like time to do self defense, but
Yeah. What a shift.
definitely a shift. It's almost like the vision kind of opens something up for Plarg, and he instructs everybody. Now today we're going to break this down into history, and then we're going to spend some time training everybody as well. The reason that we're doing this is just to make sure that we are learning self-defense as well as learning the history of magic and the history of the constructs as well, and to get some of that energy out and make sure we're practicing what we're learning. And he escorts Kadeem and his group to a station out in the outer skirts where they are assigning constructs. So right now you all are in an outside area. If you have not added armor and equipment and stuff, I would do that now if you haven't.
I'm good.
You didn't
Um,
bring your gun?
you can.
here, take my gun.
Hey, Lynn pulls out her Glock.
I have extras. You always have to come prepared to pop a motherfucker.
Bitches get stitches.
Jesus Christ.
Blap,
Oh, Mike,
blap.
by the way, Mike, I actually can't see your character. Just out of curiosity, what is his HP? 35.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Is it
It
on
just
private?
says view.
Private boy. Private boy.
That would still technically be me.
Ah,
I'm
sneaky
not
boy.
looking at it.
Oh, thank you,
Time to
sir.
look
Let me
at your
refresh.
spells. Keep frantically changing your spell list.
Yeah.
So, at this point, your characters are in an area after the projection of Kadeem's history. You see Hoffrey kind of tailing Plarg a little bit, trying to convince him, like, we this is not our spot to do this. You understand that we're doing combat on the first day of history. Did we even teach them the history part of this? Hoffrey, the history will come. We must start practicing now. We must start taking advantage of being able to prepare ourselves to be able to attack and defend. It's all part of the lesson, the curriculum. And you just see Hoffrey is but like we're going to be in so much trouble. So like I will not stand for this. And you just see Plarg just keep going, and he starts assigning different additional teachers, not actual faculty, but like other constructs that have been assigned different faculty positions. And as he approaches your all's group, today you will get the honor of working with Mr. Umezawa, and I'll send y'all a picture of Mr. Umezawa.
Does he have a Fu Manchu?
Oh shit.
No.
Why not?
Missed opportunity.
I wanted to see him to do the Kill Bill thing, like flipping his beard.
So this picture is more of like a
Oh, he's a
historical,
warforged.
like, right. So yeah, so he's like a construct, more like a warforged, but this is just like a reference. This is kind of like what the clothing that he has, what the appearance is, but he is very much a stone. I was trying to find the right source material for this without finding just like an actual like samurai, and most of the references I find I didn't like, so that was the one I kind of picked for that one. And you see Toshiro Umezawa just kind of wait, like he wakes up, he goes, "Good afternoon, class. I am Toshiro Umezawa. Let us see what you have." And we'll go ahead and have everybody roll initiative.
All right.
Ooh.
15.
Oh, 3.
13.
So you can do like
As a
some
sorcerer,
like
probably not.
He's a bard.
the bard.
What's
Oh, I
your
thought you
starting
were a
equipment?
stork. If you're a bard, yeah, you should.
Are you able to equip like some light armor, like leather armor?
Add that starting equipment, boy.
What was your roll initiative, Trevor?
It was 15.
And Shannon Star?
13.
13. And Alistaria?
3.
And Valen?
10.
And Ezekiel. Okay. So at the top we have Kadim, and then we have Ezekiel, and then we have Shenistar, then we have Phelan, and then Umezawa, and then Alistaria.
So are we fighting the construct itself?
Yeah, so what we have here is a very contained fight with a construct, and the practice is it's something that's going to be for the most part supervised. So what he's doing, he's just seeing what you all have for practice, and so just kind of he's saying hit him with what you have, essentially. And so Kadim, you're up first. Right now, Umezawa is just like in a stance with his sword, just kind of like watching you, or just watching your group, just waiting vigilantly.
Okay. What do I want to do first? Let's see. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and I will get out my glaive and
Okay.
cast Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
And it's a bonus action, and then I will, I guess, just take a swing on him.
Okay. Roll for it.
That is a 22 to hit.
It is.
All right. So that's 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the Thunderous Smite. That's 8 thunder damage.
Okay.
And he is knocked 10 feet away from me and knocked prone. Or actually, I'm sorry. No, he's not. He has to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
And beat a 14.
18.
Yeah, he beats it. So he's good.
Okay. Alrighty. So you see the construct just kind of get pushed back from Kadim's first hit.
I don't think he doesn't get pushed back. He
Okay, got it.
succeeded the saving throw.
So you see him take the hit, and he kind of goes with the hit. Very good, very good. And then Ezekiel, you're up next with Shannon Star on deck. Yeah. No, you will not die. This is just merely a test to see how strong you are. We'll have to find out. Okay. Okay. he he rolls a 2, so he has a 4. And so what happens? And he has some speed, 30 feet.
Is he moving away from
Okay,
me?
so he is. So he's backing up. Like he's just backing up. He's like, oh,
I'm gonna
and
make.
like
I'm
trying
gonna
to hold
take
this
a.
like defense.
It's
I'm gonna.
considered forced.
Oh, so that's not for an opportunity attack.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, because it's considered forced movement.
Oh, okay.
So he starts taking a step back, several steps, 30 feet.
You did warn him.
And was there anything else you want to do on your turn as he's like backing back? He's like, I'll get you. All right. And if that's your turn, it is now Shannon Star's turn with Phelan on deck.
I cast reduce on him.
Reduce.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you'll be so kind to enlighten me.
The target size is half in all dimensions, and its weight
Oh,
is reduced by 1/8 of normal.
He's
Uh,
adorable.
The reduction decreases its size by 1 category from medium to small. Until the spell ends, the target also has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. His weapon also shrinks, and the target's attacks deal 1d4 less damage. Cannot be reduced below 1.
Okay. And this just happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, is there no
Hmm?
roll against it?
I don't. Let me see.
It's a Constitution saving roll.
Yes, Constitution saving of 14.
Blake out here trying to god control.
I'm just over here reading.
I
I've
have
forgotten how
deci-
much fun I have with the wizard.
I have decided he is now
Um,
small.
Yeah.
I
Decided he
am
is small.
God.
he
Puny
rolls a
man.
he gets a 13 on that.
Oh,
Oh, then he is small.
oh, he tiny.
So I little samurai as he backs up, you just see him shrink, and you hear his voice kind of shrink as well. Oh, I get you. I'm gonna get you.
Oh.
Yep.
Anything else you want to do there, old Shani?
No, I take 10 steps back and I just smile.
Okay. And Phelan, it's your turn with Umazawa on deck.
This just feels a bit mean. He's just so cute and tiny. Mm, mm,
I was like, I could do, inflict wounds, but this is funnier.
mm.
That'd be
Can
fun.
so I mean there's not like a whole lot of space in between us, so I could like in a turn like walk up to him.
Correct, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him, and then Phelan kind of like leans over, and she like takes 2 fingers and gives him like a little pat on the head. Oh, you're just so cute, and she's gonna cast inflict wounds.
Uh,
Nice.
okay, you do.
Nope, a 9.
Oh,
Lucky him. He's too tiny. She misses him.
then he just dodges. He's like, "You gotta be quicker than that."
Oh, he's spunky.
You just see him kind of like,
And
All right,
another.
so is there anything else you want to do before you end your turn?
I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon a flame blade.
Okay. Alrighty. If that's the end of your turn, we're gonna start off Umazawa's turn with he's gonna use a charge of fighting spirit. And you
Sure.
just you just hear him like have like this little fighting spirit phrase. He goes, year 1 students, welcome. You are in good hands. You fight well, and we shall see how you do. And then now he has advantage on all attacks for that round.
So he just has
Um,
regular attacks because he's at disadvantage.
Yeah.
All right.
And because Phelan, it sounds like Phelan's closest to him, he's gonna try to do a little attack on Phelan. And he is. I'm not kidding. This is a nat 1 he rolled.
Well.
Like,
Let's see
there's no
here.
disadvantage on attacks. It's just disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Is it? Am I just not choosing to read this at all?
You're
am.
choosing to absolutely not read it all. Blake's over here acting like God. He's making shit up.
So he can roll with advantage.
Yes,
Yeah,
he can roll with advantage.
roll a 20. Beat the shit out of her.
I don't give a fuck.
We're gonna. He's gonna have three weapon attacks this turn. We're gonna give him this nat 1.
Okay.
Oh, goddamn, all right.
He rolled a 19.
Silver barbs.
Yeah, you want to do silver
It
barbs
is.
on it?
It is his weapon attacks are reduced though.
Yeah.
Blake was right about that. It's 1d4 less damage.
Yeah, silver barbs. Why not?
Okay.
And I'm
so
going
he
to
rolls
take the
again.
advantage on my next ability.
So do I need to re-roll that fumble chart roll?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a 2. So he tries to attack for Phelan, he slips. He goes, oh god, and then he collects himself.
Well, you got to be
and
quicker
he
than that.
and he tries to go for Phelan again.
Oh, he's just all kind of so much spunk.
10.
No. He's just so cute. She's just like dancing around him.
Just slaps it in.
Ah! He's just not he's not prepared for this like change of size. Like it's throwing him off completely. He's gonna use his 3rd attack on Phelan. It's a 5. He rolled a 5.
This this one is the teacher, right? Or oh, is this one of those new classes where we get to be the teacher?
So he tries to like square hit like he tries to square his footing and just goes for like a little charge, and he misses again and just like hits the ground, and he's like, ah, I'm not used to being small.
You're doing your best. It's okay.
And Alistaria, it's your turn with Kadim on deck.
Okay. I am gonna do Chaos Bolt at 2nd level.
Okay.
Fuck this teacher, man. We warned him.
Not with a fucking 7, he won't.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
Oh.
It isn't
Okay.
that one, you were right. And go ahead.
No, you're fine. So I was gonna I'm not gonna make you do a fumble chart for that. I was gonna say it with a nat 1.
I mean, I will. I don't care. Them's the woos.
I got
Yeah.
go ahead and do the fumble chart. I have it pulled up for you.
So what do I roll for that?
I actually have a really fun one. I have one that's for a D100. If you want to roll a D100.
Okay.
I want to fumble.
I don't want to fumble. Which one of these fuckers is the D100? Ah. Okay. Strength.
This has some spicy ones.
35.
You dropped your weapon.
Oh.
I wasn't holding one.
If
Spicy.
you
My Venda has it.
So if whatever you were holding has been dropped, or if you had something in your hand, it's let go.
Yeah, I wasn't holding anything.
And
During this moment,
another-
during this moment, you can hear Plarg having an argument with Hoffrey. Hoffrey, let them have this. I know this is sudden, and sometimes the history just needs a little bit of energy. But look how much fun they're all having, and some of them are like really trying to like dodge the constructs. Like it's they're like, oh, this is a workout. They're getting tired, but no, not for you all. You all are handling
Bullying
this
him?
extremely. Listen, I worked on this combat, and I wanted to have it before the end of the night because I was excited for it, and this is still really good, but I did not expect the fucking reduce.
Should we even this out somewhere? Should I? Okay, I'll fight all of you now too.
So, was there anything else you wanted to do, Alistaria?
Yeah, well, just because I haven't gotten to yet, I'm going to use a bonus action to use the tempestuous magic, and it says as a bonus action you can cause gusts of air to surround you before or after you cast a spell of first level or higher that allows you to fly up to 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. And I'm gonna do that and just flutter backwards.
Okay. Alrighty. And are you talking about gusts of wind that might blow over Umazawa?
No.
Yes.
I mean,
No,
unless you
yes.
wanted to, but no, it from the description, it's gusts of air that I guess just kind of like pick me up and allow me to fly away without provoking an opportunity attack, which I don't even think I was in range for that, but
Okay. We'll just say a minor amount of wind comes his way and just kind of like blows in y'all's direction, blows some sand, and he's not like flying away or anything, but you do. So you're in the air. I'm sorry. Did you say you're in?
yeah, it says just fly up to 10 feet. So I mean, if I'm able to just kind of hover, I'll do that.
Alrighty. If that's your turn, we'll keep your character in the air for this moment. And Kadeem, you're up with Ezekiel on deck.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, I guess just take another swing at him with my glaive.
Roll to
As
roll.
does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
Okay.
With
As
his
a
size comes a little bit more dexterity. He's still dodging. He's like, "Heh!"
okay. Let's see. And so then I'm going to use my bonus action to hit him with the butt of the glaive.
Okay.
That does not hit. That's a 10.
Okay.
And that's it.
Alrighty. Ezekiel, you're up next with Shannon Star on deck. Okay. So next saving roll, there's a reduction on it. Oh. Oh. So what do I need to? So I'm rolling is it a wisdom save? -6. It's a 7. Okay. Nice. Let me just get a little bit more ground from you. You're a hell of a bard. Okay. He just has his eyes on you, and he's still like, it's like he's not giving up this idea that like he's still the teacher. He has his assignment. No matter how goofy this is, he's still like trying. If that's your turn, it's now Shannon Star's turn with Phelan on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb.
Alrighty.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Okay.
use my kick-ass wizarding awakened spellbook, and instead of just letting it roll what kind of I want it to be, I'm gonna make it fire damage just because. Or no, it's acid. You know what? Acid's fine.
Acid is fine.
Yeah. 16 acid damage.
Okay, 16 acid damage. Math. One moment.
Numbers, how do they work? Is he dead?
Not dead.
What's the grade if we kill the teacher? That's a pass, right?
I was gonna
Um,
say I
how
was
much?
gonna do, since I had advantage, I was gonna try to inflict wounds, but it's a touch spell and he's all the way over there.
But
The corpse
what
got
was the
180 foot range.
that was 16 damage, Blake.
Yes, it was 16 acid damage.
All right, this guy. No, no, we're keeping it honest here. Okay, so he is hurting, and you see this acid just like do the work like you would expect it. Like when you think of like acid rain over years, that's acid rain in seconds. And you just see him like still trying to like tenaciously like try to teach you all something. He's like, ah, I still got this. I still got you. And anything else you want to do?
Nope. That's it. That's about
Okay.
all I got.
All right, Phelan, it's your turn with
If I make it one more,
Phelan,
I'm just gonna cast Fog Cloud.
Alright.
Phelan, it's your
Well,
turn with Talon Death.
huh. What's the has anyone looked in the rule books for the school if we accidentally kill a teacher? That won't happen, right? Okay, well, yeah, that will be fine. Okay. And I'm gonna swing my flame blade at him.
Okay, go for it.
17 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. 10 damage.
Damage. Okay.
I feel like I should apologize. I hope you're doing okay.
Oh, he's fine.
Never apologize for what the fight includes. Ow. It's important you learn to defend yourself well when I'm attacking. We got Fire Marshal Bill as the teacher right now.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. So on top of the reduction, on top of the acid damage, you see some fire just kind of like stick to his person or a little bit. Like the fire just kind of like stays there, kind of like a marshmallow a little bit. And he takes the hit. Like he takes it in stride, but it is a hit. Like he's like, oh. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm good.
All right, it is Umazawa's turn. He is going to use another fighting spirits, and he says, "You all are strong. Today I respect you. Perhaps tomorrow I will fear you." And he goes for an attack at Ezekiel,
Can he re-
and he's going. You went up. You walked up with him,
he
didn't
he
you?
went away 60 feet. I went back 10 feet. Then I moved up 30 feet. So technically, he's still 40 feet
Okay.
away.
Okay, gotcha. So he's still 40. He's gonna So correct me if I'm wrong, but he cannot use his movement to get to you. Is that correct? He needs to stay away from you with that distant whisper.
No, that's not a reoccurring thing. But if he can move 40 feet to get to me, he sure can.
He does not. He cannot. He only has 30 feet. So it sounds to me like the closest one is still Phelan.
Mm-hmm.
Or me.
Okay, Kadeem. So he's gonna go for Kadeem because you've also been hitting him. So we're gonna roll for attack. 18.
That hits.
Alrighty, he gets in there, and this is the damage is minus 1d4. Like
Yes.
11 damage.
Okay.
He goes for that leg. He goes for a regular. Yeah.
Ow.
He's just biting his ankle.
He goes for a second attack on Kadim. $11.
That misses.
Feeling a little bit confident after that one. He tries to go for a riskier maneuver, and he just unfortunately misses. Again, the size is a little off. You were agile.
It's just
Sounded
How long
standing
does
still.
reduce last?
Yeah.
Trying to do a voice that's like reduced is just like was not something I was expecting, but it's hilarious. So
How
then
long does
one
reduce
last
last?
attack.
Don't ask Blake, he'll lie.
Oh, no.
It's a minute.
He'll
It lasts-
actually read it. It lasts 1 minute.
Indefinitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
In
he's
combat,
reduced forever.
It'll
It's
be in the
concentration.
next day.
Yeah, it's concentration up to a minute.
So now he is going to, instead of using a third attack, he's going to hold his action and just have a different defensive maneuver where he holds his sword out differently and he's just standing perfectly still. And
Okay.
so that will be go ahead. So that will be the end of his turn, and Alistair, it's your turn with Kadim on deck.
Okay, so I'm still in the air, right?
Or
Okay. I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray.
okay.
All three are going at him. The first one is an 8, which I don't think hits.
It does not.
Damn it, man. Second one is a 12.
It does not.
The third is a 13.
It does not. Unfortunately.
Now hang on a second. Because I have a thing. Okay. I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points and use Seeking Spell. And I can re-roll the d20 for one of those hits.
Okay, yeah. Go for it.
So... let's see. 10. Nope.
And no.
Okay. I am just gonna stay right where I'm at.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
Alrighty. So before Kadim takes his action, we see Plarg and Hoffrey just watching everybody, and they step in and see the state of Umezawa. And like, everybody looks like they're doing. Oh my gosh, Umezawa. Umezawa? Yes, sir. What happened? Some pretty strong students. They are learning a lot. You're small, and you've had acid thrown on you and fire. What? You're supposed to be the teacher. What is going on? And you just see Umezawa take his defensive stance, and he just kind of shrugs. He goes, "I would like to retire."
That's one down.
Yeah.
And you just see Plarg and Hoffrey walk over and just kind of you see him clap his hands like, "Bravo, bravo! You've really shown Umezawa quite the beating." Yes, I'm sure he's a little embarrassed, but he'll be just fine.
I cast
thank
Reduce
all
on
good-
Plarg.
Oh boy.
Do we get to
Alrighty,
keep fighting him?
So you cast Reduce on Plarg.
No, I don't cast Reduce on Plarg.
You said it.
No. I'd say Umezawa is a little worse for wear. We don't want to. We want to keep Umezawa in our lives. I'm sure any more than you probably would. Probably would have sent him on to another place. Thank you, Umezawa. Get you some rest. We'll
I
get you
could have
back to
still
regular
talked to
size.
him then.
I mean, the class is called history. I mean, we can make him history.
trying
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
We'll like bend down a little bit. Don't you want to be a history, little man?
And history.
Big old construct graveyard in the sky.
And you just notice the Plarg takes out like a sheet and just starts giving you all like A's and passes you all for the day. And he gives it to Hoffrey, and Hoffrey is still kind of like, you can still he's annoyed by the antics that Plarg is pulling with this half combat, half history shenanigans, trying to really push his limits of being a teacher and what history actually is. But nevertheless, y'all have a good grade. And before you all leave, before you all finish the history class, we'll go ahead and call it a night at this point, and then pick up from this point next session.
All right.
Guys, we did
Woot,
it.
woot,
We
woot.
made our first teacher quit.
So saying,
On to Rux's
now
class.
onto the bear.
I
No,
have
the
my
bear's the
eyes on
final
bear.
boss.
Yeah.
We got to work our way up to the bear.
It was definitely I was a little nervous trying to like not do too much or too little, and I was looking at that time. I was like, we could probably squeeze this combat in. I'm sorry if I'm keeping y'all up or if it's late for some of y'all.
Nah, that's good.
Always late. I'm always tired.
Same.
That's
a
my secret
fucking-
cat.
What a fucking dude.
So go ahead and for this first year, for where we're at with this session or this campaign, this will be the last time that y'all level up. Go ahead and take your level 5.
Oh.
Yes, queen.
All right.
That's what we get for making a teacher quit.
This was a little bit from Blake's inspiration. This combat told me a lot that I need to know about any combats we have in the future as far as like a data size.
Make them
Or-
fight a dragon. He's writing notes right now.
Yeah. Kill Blake.
As far as like as far as y'all's ACs and the rolls, and so would y'all like to know what HP you got him down to?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he started at 97 HP.
Mm-hmm.
I got him down to 27.
Oh,
Damn.
Pussy.
I